Right, yes then, the people, this is going to be Kidderminster Police Station. Obviously, we've all seen the infamous AB video where he was arrested under policing laws, whatever law that was. So yeah, I wasn't actually going to... Right, yes then, the people, this is going to be Kidderminster Police Station. Obviously, we've all seen the famous video AB released where he was arrested for not giving his details under the policing law, whichever law that is. Still yet to know, yet to find out exactly what law that was. But anyway, we're here. I wasn't initially going to come here because I figured, you know, they probably would have been briefed after that video went viral. Obviously, a superintendent.
The video begins outside Kidderminster Police Station, where the narrator explains the purpose of the visit. A previous viral incident involving a member of the public had drawn attention to this location. Curious about how the station operates, after that controversy, the narrator decides to document a calm and respectful walk around the premises.
Released a statement, a superintendent from West Mercia Police released a statement basically apologising for the treatment that he got, but I was local, so I figured why not come here. So yeah, as mentioned, Kidderminster Police Station, part of West Mercia Police. Gonna have a little wander around, film, maybe even prompt some questions about why AB was treated the way he was. So anyway, we'll pick it back up if there's anything of...
Although the visit was not originally planned, the narrator explains that being nearby made the stop convenient. With the earlier incident widely discussed online, the station has become a point of public interest. The aim is simple: observe the environment, record openly from public areas, and understand how officers respond to
interest. Very nice. They've even got an allocated space where they can clean their cars. Hopefully not on police time. So.
Sir, you okay?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Nice.
Can I ask what you do around the back of the police station at the moment?
Just filming.
Filming?
Just around the precinct. There's your body worn on?
Yeah, my body was on as well.
Okay, were you gonna...
Just to advise you,
yeah.
So obviously the rear of the police station here is actually private.
As filming begins, the narrator. It walks around the exterior grounds of the police station. The atmosphere appears quiet and routine. The narrator points out various parts of the facility, including operational areas used by officers, noting that these spaces are part of everyday policing activities.
Obviously personal vehicles in the back here. We've also got police vehicles. No issues you filming the police vehicles. Obviously if you just avoid filming people's personal vehicles, please. Alright?
Are they exempt from being filmed?
Say again?
Are they exempt from being filmed?
Because it's a private car park at the back of the police station.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it implied right of access?
There's a sign just around the side there that it explains it's obviously only parking for police.
Okay. Did I ask you to identify?
Say again?
Could you identify yourself?
Yeah, well my badge number's just there, PC2642. Like I said, I've got absolutely no issues, but like I said,
thank you.
With these vehicles here, obviously they are personal vehicles, and this is obviously a private car park around the back of the police station. So I've got no issues with yourself if you obviously want to come and have a look at these vehicles. They're police vehicles. We're obviously round the front of the police station. That's all a sort of public area. Obviously round the back here is a private car.
While recording, the narrator notices designated spaces where police vehicles are parked and maintained. The commentary reflects on how these operational zones help officers prepare vehicles for duty. It's an ordinary scene, yet it provides insight into the behind-the-scenes logistics that keep a police station functioning day to day.
Car park.
Do you want us to show you the signs, Redder, where it tells you about it's private round here?
Okay, but I can still be here.
Okay.
There's an implied right of access. I've just walked in. I haven't jumped any fences to get here.
No, but it does say that it's just for police.
Okay.
Police
Well, there's an
personnel.
implied right of access for me to be here.
Okay.
Can you identify yourself?
Yeah, collar number there.
So what is it? What if I can't read?
21177.
And your name?
PC Greswell.
Based at?
This station, Kidderminster.
Okay. And anything else I can help? Is your body worn on?
Yes, it is, yeah.
You need to let members of the public know.
It's there, it's clear, it's quite obvious, it's flashing red.
Yeah, I might
I
know
don't-
that, but
I don't-
others
I don't-
others
I
might
don't
not.
need to let
No, you do. It's in your policy. At a time which is practical, you need to let members of the public know.
Perfect.
Soon, an officer approaches and politely informs the narrator that the area behind the station includes a private car park. The officer explains that while filming police vehicles is generally acceptable, officers would prefer personal vehicles belonging to staff not to be recorded.
So what, am I not allowed to film private registrations?
We're just asking you not to film private vehicles.
Is
As you can imagine, okay. Obviously, a lot of people don't like police, and obviously
Why would people not like police?
Police vehicles do get targeted, personal vehicles.
Do they?
Okay? And obviously, this being a private car park, we're asking you obviously not to film private vehicles. We've got no issues with you filming police vehicles.
Okay, thank
Okay?
you for the
So obviously
guidance.
All these vehicles along here, no issue filming that. Obviously, going back there where the private vehicles are in the private car park.
Is that like a recommendation, or is that like?
I think this is a working police station.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a lot of vulnerable people that come to the police station.
Okay.
They could be victims of rape, domestic violence.
What's that got to do with the plates?
Well,
The narrator asks for clarification about the request and the reasons behind it. The officer explains that the area is considered private property connected to the station, and some vehicles belong to staff members who may wish to keep their personal details out of public footage.
filming the people that might come to the police station and not want to be identified
but
as approaching the police.
They're not exempt from being filmed.
No, they're not. But you're potentially putting those at risk of further harm if someone else was to pick up on the videos that you quite openly post on YouTube.
So how would you know that?
If they was to pick up on that, maybe an abusive partner was to pick up that person had been to the police station, and that's why it's not really appropriate.
What's this got to do with YouTube?
There's nothing in law that says you can't film at the police station.
And that should be that.
But it's not really appropriate for that reason. You could be putting people at risk that want to come and tell us information about that they're being abused for some reason.
Are they going to enter through here, the rear entrance? Are
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
If that's what they want to do because they're concerned about their identity being exposed.
Then
So
it's their
that's-
responsibility to
During the conversation, the officer identified himself and confirms that his body-worn camera is active. The narrator acknowledges this and points out that officers typically inform members of the public when recording. The exchange remains calm, with both sides discussing filming practices and police procedures.
preserve their identity.
Yeah, and they
Maybe
should be
wearing
able
a face
to
mask or something, as you've done.
Being in this private area around the back of the police station, they would expect it to be reasonable for them to expect that this would be a private place where
Then
they
you
can,
should
they
put
can
like a
come-
gate up or something so members of the public can't just wander in.
I believe signage is being put up at the moment.
It is being put up at the moment,
Yeah.
is it?
And there are some signs there that says it's for police personnel.
As you
And
first come in on
conference
the right hand
users, I think, at the
side,
back, something
there's
like
a big blue sign, yeah.
Okay. So how do we proceed?
Completely up to yourself.
Okay. You aware of what this is?
Aware of.
Like what I'm here to do?
I presume
Auditing-
you're
auditing-
filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about what happened there?
We're here.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
What happened?
The officer reiterates that filming police vehicles is not an issue, but personal vehicles should ideally be avoided. The explanation highlights concerns about privacy and safety, noting that some individuals may prefer not to have their vehicles or identities linked publicly to a police location.
I think he was arrested.
He was arrested. Why?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the video myself.
You haven't seen it.
No,
He was arrested for doing what?
I don't know. I haven't seen the video. I don't
You know that he was arrested.
Sorry?
You know that he was arrested.
Yeah, of course.
Why was he arrested?
I don't know.
Don't know.
No. Why was you arrested?
Why was he arrested? I don't know either. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
I think he was just filming or something. So,
Right.
so this place has become a place of interest
Right.
because of that incident.
Okay.
Anything else I can help you with?
Like I said, as long as you don't go near the rear
Yeah,
car
listen,
park.
I can film any car in any.
If it's a
car
private,
park.
If it's a private
No, I can
car
film
park,
it, mate,
If it's a private car park, you can't enter that car park.
I can. I have.
Okay, because if it's a private car park, it's
As the discussion continues, another officer joins the conversation. The topic shifts toward the wider implications of filming near a police station, particularly regarding visitors who might arrive to report sensitive matters or seek assistance from officers.
trespassing, isn't it?
Okay, it's a civil matter. I'm not trying to wind you up. I'm just letting you know that I can film any registration
Like I say, I've got no issues you filming any of the police vehicles,
Yeah.
but I'd ask you obviously not to film personal vehicles.
What could I possibly obtain out of someone's registration?
So, for example, if obviously someone was to watch your video,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and they were then to find out that obviously they had a disliking to a certain police officer, and they found out that police officer drove that vehicle, that police officer could then be targeted.
Okay, well maybe you need to consider taking the bus to work or other means of public transport if these vehicle indexes are so sensitive.
Yeah,
To the point where-
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's all well and good, but obviously we have to.
we work shifts.
No, I appreciate
We
that.
can't come and go to work on a bus at midnight. 1 o'clock.
Officers explain that some visitors may be victims or witnesses who value discretion when entering the station, while acknowledging the public's right to record in many situations. They emphasize that filming around certain operational areas could unintentionally affect people seeking help.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
What's that? That's super. What's that?
No, I'm an
Inspector, is it?
It's the Chief Inspector.
Hello, mate. How are you? All right?
Yeah, very well, thanks.
Good.
Would you mind identifying yourself?
If you wait, I was just about to do that.
Thanks.
Okay.
Ian Gibbs, is it?
Close. Brian Gibbs.
Hello,
Okay.
Brian.
I'm the Chief Inspector. I'm a member of the command team here at
Hello.
Kidderminster.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask your name?
No,
Okay. Any particular reason why you won't give me your name?
don't need to.
No.
Don't want to.
No. Absolutely. Okay. You're actually in a restricted area.
Right.
Okay. This is authorised police personnel only to the rear of Kidderminster car park.
Right.
Okay. We are actually now just getting signage up due to previous incidents that have happened here.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to come and have a conversation with me around the front.
On the
Where
front.
there
Why?
is around the front of the police station.
There's an implied right of access here.
Say again.
There's an implied right of access.
The narrator listens and responds respectfully, noting that filming in public spaces is generally lawful. However, the discussion highlights how the balance between transparency and personal privacy can sometimes create misunderstandings in environments where sensitive situations may occur.
Access here.
I've
This becomes a
removed-
public.
I've removed that implication.
You've revoked it, have you?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Okay, therefore, as a member of the command team, I'm asking you to come around to the front where any reasonable member of the public would expect access. Okay, people don't just wander around operational car parks of police stations.
I know,
So if you
but-
want to come around the front, I'll have a chat with you around there then.
And if I don't?
Say again.
And if I don't?
I have removed that right of access for you to come around here.
Okay.
Okay, you are disrupting police activity.
No, I'm certainly not.
You've got 4 police officers
Yeah,
here.
at your own discretion, you're choosing to engage with me. I'm not
Okay.
doing anything here that's
I've got members of the public. I've got prisoners coming into custody.
Okay.
Okay. I've got to look after their protection.
Okay.
I've got to look after their identification. Okay. I need to look after their welfare. Okay. We've got police vehicles around here. We've got police activity going on in the backyards here. I can't.
The conversation shifts back to the earlier viral incident that brought attention to the station. The narrator asks whether officers are aware of the situation that sparked widespread discussion online. Some officers indicate they have heard about it but do not have detailed knowledge of the event.
Can't allow you to remain here whilst that police activity goes on. Okay, so the fact I'm here talking to you means you're disrupting other stuff that I could be getting on with.
No, I'm not disrupting
Okay,
anything.
so I'm going to ask you if you can come and have a walk round to the front, and I will have a really decent conversation with you around the front, so I can let my colleagues get on with other policing activity. Okay,
And if I don't?
I'm being reasonable with you.
Okay, all right.
Okay, come on then. Let's go and have a chat around the front then.
Okay, so to avoid a situation where, was it Chief Inspector?
Chief Inspector, yes.
So to avoid a situation where the Chief Inspector would be forced to, put hands on me or otherwise eject me from the
Just want to
premises.
be very clear.
Yeah.
At no point have I said
I
I'll
know.
put hands on you. At no point have I said I will eject you.
Mm-hmm.
What I've said.
Asterisk. As the exchange continues, a senior officer arrives and introduces himself as a member of the station's command team. His presence signals that the matter will now be addressed at a higher level, with a focus on clarifying access to the area and maintaining operational order.
Is implied right of access.
Yes.
Civil implied right of access applies to police.
And it can be revoked upon, at your discretion if you ask me to leave. I know that.
It can. Okay. So
So on that basis, I'm complying.
No, and I'm absolutely grateful for that. So what I just need to do is I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know you're going to say about signage. Signage is going up
Yeah.
to stop this happening.
Of course.
Because unfortunately, over the last week or so, this has happened far too frequently.
People have been turning up here videoing, have they?
Yeah, they have.
Do you know why that is?
Say again.
Do you know why this place has become a centre of public interest?
I know of certain videos that have gone on to various social media platforms.
Any comment you'd wish to pass
I'm not making
regarding
any comment.
those?
I'm not making any comment. You've obviously seen press releases that have gone out from West Mercia Police.
I have.
The senior officer calmly explains that the narrator is currently standing in an operational area used by police personnel. He asks that the discussion continue at the front of the building where members of the public would normally approach the station.
Yeah, hence my presence today.
No, absolutely, and I would willingly invite you, please, by all means. You can film any activity around here. I can't stop you. You know that. You know the legislation.
Of course.
But what I just need to be really mindful of is I need my officers to be getting on with their work.
Okay, of course.
Okay.
But again, I haven't forced them. I haven't. I'm not obstructing anyone doing their work. I understand that then it could be aggravated trespass if I'm obstructing someone from doing their carrying out their responsibility.
Obstructing or disrupting.
But I'm not doing either of those because you lot have engaged me.
I know, but the fact you're in the backyard
Yes.
means that the officers have felt they have to engage with you because it is an area to which they conduct their business. Okay, you've got to be really mindful. There will be other members of the public around there.
Asterisk, the narrator questions whether the public has implied access to the area, prompting the officer to explain that such access can be withdrawn when necessary. According to the officer, the decision is based on maintaining safety, privacy, and uninterrupted police work.
Who have, there could be victims around there could be witnesses around there could be other people involved in policing activity who potentially would like to keep their identity away and offer social media
that's not my responsibility though. That's their own responsibility. They don't have a right to privacy if they're in public.
And it's my responsibility, hence why I've asked you to come around the front.
Okay.
Okay, I need to look after that right for them around the back of the police
Obviously,
station.
I'm here to do, a quote-unquote kind of civil rights activity or otherwise. So if I just immediately concede to your demands, then obviously I'm going to get criticised as well. You can understand that, right? I'm not here just to...
Completely.
Yeah.
And as I say, I fully advocate, by all means, everywhere that you have got an implied right of access, by all means, please do so. Okay?
But I'm aware of the legislation. If you
can't
revoke
stop
that,
you.
then I do need to leave.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I
you
can't
can
stop
lawfully
you around
eject me.
here. Okay. And I would invite you to do that.
The officer clarifies that the request is not meant to escalate the situation. Instead, it is intended to guide the conversation to a more appropriate public-facing area of the station. The tone remains professional, and both sides acknowledge the importance of keeping the interaction respectful.
And equally, if there's anything that I can invite you to do, if you want to come and have a conversation with me, if there's anything on the wider policing spectrum you wish to discuss with me, off of camera, off of Facebook, off of the social media platforms.
Why are you so worried about it being broadcasted and publicised? We can have an honest, transparent conversation. I've given you the
I want
courtesy
to have an
of coming.
honest, normal conversation, reasonable conversation, without being spread over social media.
Well, irrespective, what up until this point, our dialogue is still going to be put on social media. So I don't see why any further dialogue cannot also.
No, and I'm happy with that.
Because that just raises suspicion. The public are going to think, well, is this chief inspector hiding something? Is there something to hide?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what I'm saying to you is, I'm happy to have an adult conversation with you up in my office or anywhere, without being filmed, like normal people.
The narrator agrees to move toward the front of the station. He explains that refusing a request after access is withdrawn could create unnecessary conflict. By cooperating, the encounter stays calm and avoids turning into a confrontation at the...
Like you and I can very reasonably do. I'm happy to have those conversations.
I haven't come here to have conversations off camera. I've come here with a specific purpose to film, so it's all captured on camera and then broadcasted.
Okay, I'm happy for you to look into our police vehicles. Please do so. Okay, I'm happy to bring a vehicle round here so you can have a look in. By all means, please do so. All I am going to ask you, please, okay, the signage will be going up.
Okay.
Please do not go past the authorised personnel signage. Okay.
My access has been revoked now, so I won't go back on there anyway.
I'm really pleased with that. Okay? Are you happy with that?
I mean, listen, it is what it is. I would ask you to pass comment on the incidents surrounding that.
And you've already asked me to pass comment. I'm not going to pass comment.
On camera.
What has been said. West Mercia have provided a reply to
front area. The chief inspector reiterates that filming from publicly accessible spaces is acceptable. However, he stresses that officers must also consider the welfare of individuals visiting the station and the operational needs of the police team.
that.
Yeah.
I'm very well aware that's on social media. I think what has been said is enough.
You think?
I do.
You don't want to further consolidate what's been said?
It's not.
Gather further trust from the public that this police station is kind of operating within boundaries of the law, because obviously what people have seen they're not very happy with. So, any further sort of comment to consolidate that West Mercia are kind of taking the required steps to make sure that incident isn't
I think the
repeated.
comments that have been made are appropriate, and they have been appropriate. And I think, as your viewers on social media will see, I think me coming out talking to you, it's been very amicable. You've complied. I've been reasonable, unless you're going to tell me otherwise.
I mean, no, I won't say that.
And I think it's all been very amicable.
It's just a little bit suspicious that you're happy to have a conversation inside the office or otherwise without the presence of the camera. But
The narrator asks whether the officer would like to comment further on the earlier viral incident. The chief inspector explains that the police service has already released an official statement and prefers not to add additional remarks on camera.
on camera, you're not willing to pass comment.
And you've said no to that, so I can't make you have a conversation with me. Okay? I've got to get back to my work, but thank you ever so much for the opportunity to chat with you. And I dare say we'll probably talk again soon.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you, Brian.
No worries. Thanks very much.
Goodbye. All right, guys, that's Kidderminster Police Station. Obviously, we're going to get comments saying, "Oh, you gave interviews, you shouldn't have left." But remember, if they're clued up on the legislation and they revoke your civil access, you do have to leave. Otherwise, they're going to put hands on.
Instead, the chief inspector offers to continue a more detailed discussion privately, away from cameras, and narrator politely declines, explaining that the purpose of the visit is to document interactions publicly as part of the filming project.
So, if I'd stood there and forced them into a situation where they'd have to physically eject me, then I would look like the antagonist. So that was the comments from the chief inspector regarding AB's little encounter that he had here when he was arrested. So yeah, AB, this one's for you, man. Obviously, in light of what happened to you, sorry, dude, that had to happen to you. Sorry, I couldn't have stood around there for a bit longer, but listen, it is what it is. That was Kidderminster Police Station. Yeah, definitely still some stuff going on in here that they don't want the public being made aware of.
The conversation concludes with both sides acknowledging that the discussion has remained respectful. The chief inspector returns to his duties, and the narrator reflects briefly on the interaction and the balance between public filming and operational considerations.
So that's going to conclude that. Kidderminster, West Mercia Police. Again, there's a statement up. The superintendent released a statement regarding the AB incident. I don't know how far that video in itself would go in terms of kind of restoring the faith of the public in West Mercia Police. But again, ask the chief inspector if he'd like to pass any comments. He refused. Instead, he wanted to have a chat off camera. Listen, I haven't come here to have chats with feds off camera. So yeah, I don't know. Is that a bit suspicious? Let me know. Anyway, that's going to be that. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow my Instagram, Burks_2H. Join the Discord chat. Everything will be pinned in the comments. Follow my edit.
Asterisk as the video ends. The narrator summarizes the visit to Kidderminster Police Station. The encounter remained calm, with officers explaining their perspective and the narrator documenting the exchange. The closing message invites viewers to share their thoughts while emphasizing respectful dialogue and responsible public filming.
His YouTube channel, Richard Cousins Media. And yeah, peace. So they're putting up the signage right now. This is the makeshift signage, is it? All right, peace.